opposed to using like Harry and David or like 1-800-Flowers, they can support a local company and shippable boards that only uses Wisconsin cheeses, and we're from Wisconsin. It just feels like a good way. It's very serendipitous with like my feel on community and supporting local and like the local economy here. Mm-hmm.
You have found Authentic Business Adventures, the business program that brings you the struggle stories and triumphant successes of business owners across the land. Downloadable audio episodes can be found in the podcast link found at drawincustomers.com. We are locally underwritten by the Bank of Sun Prairie, and today we're welcoming / preparing to learn from Therese Merkel of Tricky Foods. We're talking foods today, so that's always a good thing. So, true. How's it going today?
It's going good.
All right.
Yeah, nothing really crazy going on.
Except this sweet podcast.
I know, right? You're right. This is probably the most exciting thing I've done today.
I'm going to call that a compliment.
Yeah, it is. This is the only thing I did today, actually. The only thing on my schedule. The rest was just computer work. Like,
Nice.
Yeah.
Tell us the story. What is Tricky Foods?
So Tricky Foods is a cheese and charcuterie shop, wine and beer bar, and event space located in Madison, so like 20 minutes from where we are now.
Yeah.
But that's one part of what we do. That's
tiny part?
Well, that's a big part, but that's of my entrepreneurial everything. You know, owner of Tricky Foods, but I have just like you do, so many other little irons in the fire.
That's the game as an entrepreneur, right? You got 5 million ideas every single day. And then you just have to choose one of them every 6 weeks or a year. Or
I know. So yeah, that's like a big part of what I'm doing, but I'm also trying to expand the business, which I feel like is a bigger focus for me right now.
Okay.
So
tell me a story.
Okay, well, what story do you want to hear?
Let's start with the beginning.
Okay, all right.
So there I was, right?
Yeah. Well, okay, so the story, I always tell people the story starts in 2018. So
okay.
I had just graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. I had a degree in information technology and Spanish, and I moved to Madison to work at Epic as a project manager.
Like you do?
Yeah, like everyone does. And I knew the stories, but I was like, this paycheck is going to look really nice as someone fresh out of college, college debt. So I worked there for a year and a half. I had just paid off my last college loan, and I'm like, I couldn't find anyone there that was living the life I wanted. I'm like, well, why do you stay here? And it was all about the money. Everyone had their feelings about working there. But it was all about the money. Even people that have been there for 10 years. I'm like, why do you stay here? Oh, the money's just too good. Okay, that's kind of miserable because...
Sounds like it.
Yeah, like I don't have debt now, and I'm more sad than when I had college debt. Like, what? And so I realized when they had asked me to take on more work, I said, I think I'm going to end here. I'm done. So I put in a 6-week notice like everyone does. And then 4 weeks later, the pandemic happened, and I was like, oh, can I actually keep my job? And they're like, actually, no. Like, you said no, and we don't have any work anymore. Like, everything is delayed. Every project got delayed. Everyone, no traveling anymore. So I thought it was like the worst thing that could have ever happened to me, but it ended up being just like the springboard for everything I did after. So when I quit after I had put in my notice, I started applying for other jobs, other management type jobs, project management jobs. And when the pandemic happened, everything was frozen. You know, they're not looking to hire. People are laying people off. So I thought, okay, this is a good reason to have a gap in my resume. And my other plan was to travel and have fun and like get my life back. And that was all, canceled. Everything that I had planned was canceled. And so I lived alone at this time. All my roommates moved away, and I started thinking, like, what do I want my life to be? We're going to die soon because of this pandemic. What do I want my final days to be? And I went back.
20-something? You're like, what are my final days?
Like, because the pandemic. I thought we were all going to die. Remember, everyone was like, peace to your mother. So I literally was like, okay, I'll have like about a year probably left. Let me just, what do I want to do? Not actually, but like.
Oh, that's funny.
I was thinking life is short. Literally, people are dying. So like, what do I want to do with my life? And of course, I came out very burnt out. I had a small stint of like, I just need to recoup my energy back. I started waitressing at a country club, and I started teaching kids cooking classes just to kind of get my toes in the water. And then I saw the charcuterie board trend. So I had an Instagram page called Tricky Foods for years. Like, I've always loved cooking. I have little pictures when I was little at JCPenney's with like a chef hat and a bowl. That was my hobby. You get those professional photos taken. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, So I'm like, that was my hobby. And my dad always said, don't go into food because you're not going to make money. And I'm like, okay, Dad, like, no problem. And I hear him on that. I mean, being a chef, you're working weekends, nights, holidays. But no one told me that there was another route. There's other food businesses you can start.
That's fair. When I worked at a movie theater,
yeah,
my boss said, never get in the restaurant business. He said, the movie theater business, people are already fed.
Yeah.
So they'll buy their popcorn. They're there for a good time. The restaurant, they just got done with work and they're cranky and they're hungry.
Yeah.
And Friday, Saturday night, that's when you make all your money and you're dealing with all these cranky people. So don't do that.
Yeah.
So I got the same advice.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but the thing that I didn't realize, that if you're passionate about food, think about like you go to the grocery store and you buy food, like Kellogg's. I mean, every food brand out there is also a business. You could work in the food industry.
Yeah, we all eat.
Exactly. You don't have to just be in food service. I mean, think about companies like, Chick-fil-A that started, or Raising Cane's. Like, those are all food entrepreneurs, but they're not working Friday and Saturday nights anymore. They built a franchise. So no one told me that there were different routes with food. Everyone thinks you just work at a mom and pop restaurant and you're scraping by in life. And that is, I would say that's like level one in the food industry. The easiest to enter, I mean, restaurant is not easy to enter, but like no food industry job is easy to enter. But then there's like, level 100 where it's like you're working for a gigantic food company. But anyway, so I'm very passionate about food. And I started a food company making charcuterie boards. I just saw a trend. I decided I was going to make them from my house, which is illegal. I found that out later on.
Make it like for you or to sell?
It's illegal to make any food from your house and sell it if it needs to be refrigerated.
Okay.
So I can bake cookies and sell. And that's legal. So it's under something called the cottage law. I'm giving law advice now. But no, under the cottage law, you can sell baked goods.
That's fairly new though, right? I mean, 5-10 years maybe?
The cottage law is different in every state. Like every state has its own version. Some states, maybe what I'm doing could be legal. But if the second you cut cheese or cut a strawberry in half, it needs to be refrigerated.
Yeah.
And then you have to be in a commercial kitchen.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's where I'm happy I didn't know that when I started. It's good that I didn't know everything because I don't know if I would have continued, gotten involved. But yeah, started making charcuterie boards. And the long story short, to like preface it, is like got into a commercial kitchen, started hiring help, started growing, realized I was working just as much as I had been at Epic and making not exactly the same amount, but like a similar amount. And I'm like, oh, now I'm back to square, like the beginning. I don't want to do this. So then you have to start thinking, or what I started thinking about was, how do I build a machine that works without me so that I can still be involved in this business, but I'm not the one working Fridays, Saturdays, and weekends. So then I eventually went the storefront route, got a storefront a couple years ago, hired, well, that's me, 2 full-time employees, 8 part-time charcuterie artists, 2 charcuterie proteges, which are interns, a marketing person, and a salesperson, part-time. So that's the whole team now. They run it.
Dang.
They run it. But so anyways, that's like they run the day-to-day, and now I'm working on the expansion.
All right.
Yeah.
So, man, we got a lot of gears to hit here.
I know. I kind of went through the fast version.
No, you're good. You're good.
But
that's the outline.
yes, that's the outline.
And now we can just hit the individual chapters here.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Tell me a story about location. How'd you find the spot?
Ooh, good question. No one really asks about that. Because suddenly,
well, it was a special podcast here.
Yeah.
So.
So like the people always see a spot and they're like, oh, cool, she got a spot. Like, it was very difficult to find a spot. One, coming to terms that I'm not from Madison, and I'm from the Milwaukee area. I was planning to leave Madison after a year and a half into my business.
I was too.
Yeah,
here
we all
are.
think about it. No, which I'm glad I didn't, because this is an incredible place, in my opinion.
Fair, totally fair.
To have a business, especially, like with the capital and all these tech companies. So coming to terms with the fact of like, I could actually see myself going, locking in a loan for a place like this, locking in 5 years in a place like this. Once I kind of came to those terms, well, I didn't really come to those terms. Those terms kind of came to me. So I was on a trip, and one of my good friends who owns a different small business was like, I found a storefront because she really needed one. And she's like, there's another one next to it. You should check it out. I'm like,
neighbors.
I know. I'm like, I'm only doing it if you're doing it. Like, this is amazing. It wasn't easy to get one because like we had to have the landlord on our side. We're 25. I was 25 at that point. No, 27. Let me see. I was 26.
All right.
when I was looking to get a storefront.
You could just say 20. We don't
Okay, mid-20s.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
mid-20s. No, yeah, we would know.
No, it's checking.
Okay. So I'm like, the bank's not really excited about a mid-20s girl that has no collateral and is single and like, I don't have like a huge nest egg. So like, you have to have a landlord that is okay waiting. You have to have a banker that's like believes in you, or you have like stats to back up your profitability of your business. And so we found a place that worked out really well, but then we roped in a third friend to try to get her to be in the third space.
Holy cow.
It ended up falling through for one of them.
Okay.
And then it ended up...
Number 1 or number 3?
Number 3.
Okay.
And then it ended up falling through for number 1. And it was only going to work for me. And I said, I'm out. I'm not doing this if it's not going to be with you guys. So I kind of stopped looking, but I still had it in my mind of like, I actually think this is the way to go. Started looking, I mean, you pay per square foot, not to get into the details, but like we were looking at rent of, I mean, thousands of dollars every month versus...
Help me out with where, as far as downtown?
Oh, Middleton.
Middleton.
I was always looking at Middleton, yeah,
Okay.
because that's where a lot of my customers are. Mind you, I was in Stoughton at the time.
So Middleton, Greenway Cross type?
Kind of off the beaten path a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know, I guess the question is, are you looking for a place with foot traffic or more industrial?
Foot traffic more so, but
Okay.
more just like, okay, so there's 2 ways that I was thinking about it. And I never really knew what way I wanted to go. It happened to work out. I went the way that came to me, but I started this during the pandemic. People were picking up boards. I wanted just a pickup location, a small kitchen, pickup location, small footprint, wine, beer, maybe pick up to go, and then leave. It wouldn't be like you walk and stay a while. Well, I'm happy that place didn't work out because the place that did work out was kind of an interesting story, but it ended up being like a whole, storefront with a patio. We rented out for, my place is, 1,400 square feet, a whole storefront, wine, beer bar. We're open 55 hours a week. People can just walk in and order stuff, or they rent out the store for a day or for hours. And it's really good for baby bridal corporate events under 50 people.
Well, man, Therese, I didn't know all this.
Wait, you didn't know that? Oh
no.
My. What did you think I was doing? Making charcuterie boards
Just
in my house?
Here's a board with meat and cheese. No, I knew you had a...
sorry, I don't mean to clap. I wasn't trying to get that out.
I knew you had a retail spot.
Yeah.
I didn't know that alcohol was involved, and I didn't know that there was rental space and all that kind of stuff. So this is cool. This is super cool.
It's. I mean, you always have to think about how to keep the revenue coming in
all the avenues,
streams.
all of them.
Yeah. So we do tons of public events too, but private events are really good. We do tons of grazing tables, which is like long form catering. We do that mostly at people's homes or corporate offices. So we can have 5 events in a day. So 2 of them in our store, 3 of them in other places, or 5 outside of our storefront. Like, it's really hard to not get into the weeds, so stop me. But as I was basically, to kind of go back to like the storefront, because then I can go into like scaling, because that's a whole different thing.
Sure, fair.
But so the storefront, I stopped looking, and then this is just a very funny, this is how the luck part of business comes into play. I had happened to live at a place that was next to a commercial building. I'm in a neighborhood, right? This is back a couple years ago. I'm in a place, right next to it is a commercial building, and then right across from that is an old VFW. So when I started my business, I asked the VFW if I could work in their kitchen, rent it out. They said, no, we're getting bought and torn down. So I'm like, okay, no problem. This is relevant. And then the people that were buying and tearing it down and building an apartment building were across the street from them. Well, they always ordered and they'd pick up from my house. So I'd make the charcuterie boards in Stoughton and bring it back to my house, and they would buy them. So one day they came up to order, grab the board, and I happened to be home, so I chatted with them. And I'm like, when is it going to be ready? I had a boyfriend, my husband was my boyfriend at the time, and I'm like, I'd love for him to live there. That'd be so cool. And then I get a text from the president of the company that day, and he's like, hey, Therese, we've been buying your boards for years. Like, would you want a commercial space? And I'm like, a brand new build commercial space in the exact building I wanted to be in. Like, because that was the old VFW. I tried to. Yeah. Does that make sense? Do I need to draw that out? But
that's it. These stars are lining.
The stars are, yes, exactly. Like, the place that I tried originally 5 years ago to get a commercial space ended up being my footprint of where my commercial space is. But so they came to me, and when they come to you, it's obviously like they want you there for a reason.
Right.
I'm a good kind of an amenity for them, and their real bread and butter is apartments, but they had to have a mixed use building. So I'm just kind of like the cherry on top. Yeah. And so anyways, it worked out really fair. I got to build out the space completely. Like I I'm the one that said line, office here, bathroom here, light here, switch here.
Whoa.
I just drew it out on a piece of paper, and then you pay the big bucks for like an architecture to put it together and make it legal. And you have a general contractor that actually gets the subs and stuff.
Holy cow. That was your first building?
Yeah, I've never bought, my first building, I never bought furniture even in my life. I had just always, my roommates had bought it. And now I'm furnishing it, I'm buying 50 chairs, and I'm buying granite countertops and custom woodworked. But I got lucky in the sense that it was a brand new build. They wanted me there, and it went hand in hand with when they were kind of building the building. So I got to use all their I was too small of a fish to work with those big of people, but because they were building the building, they built mine too.
Nice.
So I got, I know. That was like the lucky part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Tell me roughly what year are we talking?
This is 2023. So September 2022, I got the text, and by September 2023, we're opened. Yeah, so that's probably on the slower end.
Holy cow.
Because I would go in with a hard hat. The building was being built, so.
I was thinking it was going to take a year to bang that out.
No, most general contractors, when they're in spaces, take like 3 months or something, to build a space. But mine, was from scratch, all the plumbing and electric, all the framing.
Holy cow.
It was like too much freedom, though. When you can do whatever you want, it's like.
It's too much?
Yeah. I think we did a pretty good job for the first one, though.
All right.
I had a lot of guidance.
I guess that's what I'm thinking, because since you've never been in a space, I don't mean that to be mean. I just mean like you don't even know what you don't know.
Yeah, I had no idea.
It's like moving out of your parents' place for the first time. Like, what kind of apartment do I want?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I need a bathroom and a kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the things that I don't like.
I know.
Noisy neighbors, or this door should go this way instead of that way, or whatever.
Yeah, that's where kind of like I've had to pay a lot of professionals to give me the advice.
Okay.
You could describe on a piece of paper how you want it done, and then the architecture, without over telling you everything, they're going to say you can't do that. You have to have by code 2 bathrooms.
Okay.
Okay, well now that's like a ton of space, and the bathrooms have to be big enough for a wheelchair to be able to do a 360. Yeah. So some stuff you can't determine. You can say this is the general vibe, and I drew it out, and then I had a bunch of people on that project that were, like I said, I was a small fish for this company. They were very experienced. And some people were like, they were definitely going to bat for me. They'd call me after our weekly meeting and be like, hey, don't let them push you around. Like, you can push back on that. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, looking back, I was so overwhelmed.
All right.
I would be overwhelmed to do it again, but I would know a little bit more.
But it sounds like awfully lucky. And since people were working with you, and it wasn't like, oh, this little thing, right?
Yeah. No, I had a lot of, I had like 100 people that I probably got advice from throughout that time period on just how to build a house, or to build a storefront.
Dang, they must like charcuterie boards.
No, yeah, or just, they didn't want to see someone go through the same thing they had already gone through. It was like paying it forward. Some people were just about to retire and were really like, this was their last project.
Oh, nice, okay.
I know. So, yeah, that's a part of the story that honestly is so deep in the archives. Like, I was like just trying to stay alive during that time. Because I didn't have employees. I had one employee at that time. So you're running the business while also building what the future business is going to look like. Mm-hmm. Nothing was ever harder than that. Oh.
You're perfect to segue here. Because next question was employees. Because you get the space, and now you got to man it for whatever you're open.
Yeah.
Like, let's shift gears there, right? How do you figure out what hours you're going to be open?
Good question. How did I decide? Well, I know people like to pick up charcuterie boards around noon. I had a pickup time of noon to 2. I had settled on, through a lot of trial and error, I realized you can't just be open 365 days a year. Then I realized it was more like the end of the week that people wanted stuff. And then it was like the earliest people would want it would be lunch. And most people are done, they're enjoying it around like lunchtime or like 6:30. So I thought, okay, if this is going to be a wine and beer bar, I don't want it to be a late night place. It's in a neighborhood, and that's not even my vibe. So I just said 11 to 8, and I could change it at any point. Like I could say we're open from 11 until 2, and that's how it would be. But we have to ultimately, like, my full-time people have work that they have to do. So they're at the store, and if someone happens to walk in and ask about it, I want them to be there, that helps. A place where people can call, so I don't know. I think sometimes you just kind of throw something out there and go, well, would it make any sense to open at 12? Well, no, people need their stuff by 12. So we'd probably be coming in here early all the time, and we have to make it. And then I noticed the spike of people coming at the 6:30 time and then they're there for about an hour.
6:30 at night.
Yeah, they're there for like an hour or so. So we close at 8. We've tried later hours, like till 10 p.m., but
it's just crickets or people you don't want?
Yeah, it's probably both.
Okay.
It's probably both, but I kind of joke around, like what I do now in the business is I joke around that I'm the CFO, and I also actually mean it because like all I do is look at numbers and stats all day, and I say, okay, when are peak times, or what are our labor numbers? And I forgot where I was going with this.
Open hours, employees.
Yeah, it's like I kind of forgot where I was going. Basically, like I'm looking at charts all the time to decide if our labor numbers make sense versus our sales numbers. So like, this is what I was gonna say. When I look at my sales, I see in-store walk-in sales. They're steady or they're dropping. But outside catering sales go up. So the storefront really is more of like a place to kind of do work for my employees, but also for a place for people to pick up or rent. Mm-hmm. But what really drives like the bottom line is catering orders. So I know that's why we don't need to be open until 10 p.m. because walk-ins don't drive revenue. No
catering orders getting picked up, or it's rare?
No.
Picked up at 9:30?
No, and if they want to do a special thing, then they can book us, and we have minimums, and that's profitable. But just waiting around, like waiting for someone to come in.
Let me just...
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense, but that's one piece of the pie.
Fair. So when this place opens, day one, do you have ribbon cutting or anything cool like that?
We never cut a ribbon, technically, but we did have like a big party where it's like if you were a piece of cheese or like a cheese head or something, you got like a free cookie.
Well, there you go.
So we had a line out the door, which was great. And, we have bigger Instagram, so getting people to show up wasn't horrendous. We were horribly understaffed the first day. 2 people called in with COVID.
Come on.
I know, right?
2 employees?
Yes, that day. I'm like, this is 2023, but I mean, people still got COVID in people are still getting COVID now.
Yeah.
But beside the point.
Their aunts die or whatever. Yeah. Employees are employees.
No, I mean, ultimately they were sick. So basically they called in the day of, and I'm like, we're screwed. And we only prepped a few boxes. I didn't know so many people would come through and support. So we had like my employees' sisters and moms and friends coming in, and my family showed up right when we opened, so they were helpful, but they weren't able to like get in the back and like make stuff.
Gotcha.
And then the thing is this, like any business owner probably feels this way, but it's like I can't be everywhere. So when we're opening, my staff might think, Therese can help make charcuterie boards, but it's like I didn't even get to go to the bathroom.
You gotta shake hands and kiss babies.
I know. That is when I realized like everything is gonna change. Like I cannot keep making charcuterie boards. I can't be at every catering event. People want to chat. They want to work. I don't know. I'm in a different role now. Mm-hmm. And when I realized that, that's when we really were able to.
Yeah, you're representing, not building.
Yeah.
Or building by representing, right?
But not like in the weeds of cutting cheese.
Yep.
Like I can help grow the business and serve my employees better by doing something else. Mm-hmm. And same with all management. Like we're not too proud to do anything anyone's done. I've done everything that they're doing. But I can close, thousands of dollars in sales if I'm just in my office versus I can make a board that someone bought for $50.
The way to guarantee that they have a job.
Exactly.
That the business is theirs, that you do your thing, they do their thing. Rinse and repeat.
That's the hard thing to sometimes get across, especially when you're growing it alongside other employees.
I remember being frustrated with some of my previous day jobs where I was W-2 employee thinking, what are these people doing all day?
The management people?
Yeah.
I know. My dad always said that too. He'd be like, the most paid people do the least amount of work. I'm like, actually, they're I mean, that can be true sometimes, but like sometimes they're closing deals that are like, they're astronomically large.
Yeah.
And it's like someone that you're paying, I mean, it might only take a day for them to close it, but like someone else at a different level and a different pay grade wouldn't be able to do that same task.
No, it's risk and reward, and there's a skill set involved. So,
yeah.
I mean,
I know.
That's the game, right?
I know. It's hard to get that understanding though from employees. So that's why maybe you feel this way. You hang out with other entrepreneurs. Like I do at least. Like I.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It just happens to be recorded.
Yeah, exactly. They understand it more. It's really hard to relate when someone doesn't know what it's like to like risk everything.
Yeah. You know, it's so interesting you say that because I got a kid in baseball, soccer, these little sportsy things. You're hanging out with the parents, and the parents are talking about what is important to them. And at that time, what is important to them is coach or ref or ump or whatever. And I'm like, I could not possibly care less. I love watching my kid play. It's enjoyable, but I don't care if they win or lose. I don't care what that call was.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to find a parent who has something more in their life going on than this past game that we need to talk about for 3 hours. Like, this isn't Sports Center, man. I don't even like Sports Center. We just need to talk about something going on.
Did you find someone?
Every once in a while I find a parent that's got either their own business or they're investing in something that's kind of cool. Yeah. Or something other than their kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's tough.
Yeah, I know. Entrepreneurs are, I feel like they're just so interesting. And I'm not discounting other people that aren't entrepreneurs. But it's like what I felt like when I was an entrepreneur is like you live for the weekend and then you complain about your job.
Yeah, I hate Mondays.
Yeah. And I'm like, I really like my life. I like every aspect of it. Like it just feels like life.
It's a charge, right?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's fun. And there's a certain game element to it.
It feels like a game, especially early on. When I closed the sale, I mean, I was elated. Now I'm like, I gotta send another proposal. Like, it's like, and I don't do too many of them, but like when I need to jump in for those things, you know, because when you get sick of doing something, it's like, maybe I could find someone else to do it then. Or I've standardized this enough now. That's why it's boring.
Right.
So
systematize and outsource, right?
That's
all
we do. I'm like, I love this idea, but could we do it, 1,000 times over? And if not, we shouldn't do it for one person. Typically, sometimes we.
Yeah, I mean, there's gray area in everything, so that's fair. Tell me a story about your first employee.
I got so lucky.
All right, man, we're stacking them up.
I know, right? Well, I think when you kind of like put what's the right term for this? When you put it all on the table.
Yeah, risk?
Yeah, like when you kind of put there's like a certain phrase where it's like
a manifestation type thing? Or
no, it's like when you put your balls on the chopping block.
Okay, all right.
But in a different sense, that sounds really kind of dirty. So
no, we get it. It was a safe place here, Therese.
Okay, but like when I posted on Facebook after I had decided to start this business saying, I've decided to quit my job, I'm starting a business. First off, I had already told my family, and I got an immense amount of pushback. They're like, no, you did not. You did not quit your job.
Come on.
Oh, that happens forever, and especially if I don't know how long you've been an entrepreneur, actually. How long?
Since 2006.
Okay. So did your parents have anything to say about it, or did it not matter at that point?
No, they probably similar. So I went to college for 4 years, and I never graduated because I was like, meh. I've had enough, and the major I was in, it just wasn't my jam, right? And so what are you going to do? You can change majors after 4 years and not end up as a doctor? Like, meh. So my dad would bug me and say, when are you going to finish your degree? And I'm like, I don't know. And eventually that turned into, never, Dad. I don't need to ever send a resume again.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
So that piece of paper would be for literally no one because I don't care about it.
Yeah.
And no one that I care about cares about it, so it's unnecessary debt.
I didn't even know that was an option. I didn't know about entrepreneurship ever, which it just is a cool side note, being in Madison, maybe you've seen this in the news or haven't yet, but they're doing a big initiative to create an entrepreneurial hub where it's like a huge, I don't know if it's a new building or a program at UW, but I just had a meeting right before this one. It's the only other meeting I had today. So another exciting part of my day, but it was, they're starting a club called Women in Entrepreneurship. Like there's entrepreneurship, there's like, I'm sure boy entrepreneurship clubs, but like specifically women entrepreneurship, I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing. I never even heard of that. I'm like, if that was an option, I probably would have tried to like start a business. Well, actually, I did try to start a business in college, but I didn't know what entrepreneurship was. I didn't know it was called that. Beside the point, I love to see that that's like being talked about.
No, they just shoved college down your throat.
I know.
And now that's not exactly the most fiscally responsible choice. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just one of those, like, you really got to weigh it.
I know.
Back when I went to school, it was like, go get your college degree and move on with your life.
Well, now there's all this talk also, this is kind of a tangent, but like not even just starting your own business, but like buying an existing business with all the boomers, retiring and stuff. And it's like, that's really cool. A lot of people, they decide they're done working and then their business shuts down. It's like, you could sell that.
There's value there.
Yeah. But anyways, I think there's a lot of value.
Hopefully there's value there.
Yeah. Or room for improvement.
Right. Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah, but
so first employee, your family gives you pushback, and you're like, settle down.
Yeah, that first year, I was just trying to gain the confidence to be like, I can actually make a living, and all these comments that people are making, like, when are you going to get a real job? It still happens, and it still happens.
It still happens?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's
like the level of success that you could possibly make, being like, "Hey, I own the world," and they're like, "Yeah, well, there's no W-2 there."
I'm not going to even mention the people that do, but yeah, I have very high expectation. Not for me personally, but like I have people in my life that have high expectations for me. And when I say that, I mean like in specific categories. Like I like to look at my life as a pie, and all the different categories mean something to me. Okay. It's not just. Is this like a stable? I mean, is entrepreneurship ever really fully stable at this?
Is a real job ever stable?
You're right. It's not. Thank you for saying that.
Pandemic.
Yeah. You're completely right. I mean, people can get fired all the time.
AI, whatever. Yeah.
Some people are a little bit more like old-fashioned, I guess, traditional, whatever. But like, there are different levels of success. Like I feel like I have found success in the food industry.
Agreed.
I have like the life that I want, but I am searching for like even more at a different level.
When would you ever stop though?
I don't think you do.
When did you be like, I've hit nirvana, right?
Yeah, I don't think you really do because it's like,
we're trees, man. Grow or die.
Yeah.
Grow or die.
No, I know. It's like a high that you kind of chase.
Yes.
And when you feel like you've capped and you're almost like bored, it's like, okay, I can take this to the next level.
This, I guess from my perspective, it's like a never-ending Monopoly game.
Yes, and it's a game though, but it should be fun while you play it too.
Correct.
And that's the thing where you kind of have to take a look back and be like, I'm not where I want to be in this category, but like I am really loving life right now, or like I'm not really loving life at this very moment, but like boy is cash coming in, like I will take this. So I love it. It's a game, and I don't feel like a zombie.
And you have the brain or the awareness to even ask the question or have the conversation internally, externally, whatever, saying like, where am I now? Where do I want to be? And am I cool?
Yeah.
Where other people are just like, I want to Netflix watch for 12 hours today.
Oh, yeah. I'm very introspective. I'm constantly analyzing and writing like, the day is 2030, or like the year is 2030. This is what my life looks like.
Oh, do you write letters to yourself and all that?
Well, in a way, I like to journal to myself. It gets me through.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh no, I love it. I'll wear it with a badge of honor. But some people are like, I don't have time for that. I'm like, I don't have time if I don't do that. I can't stop thinking about it then if I don't get it.
You make a cake, you got to figure out the recipe, right? Other people are just like, where did I land? Is it the cake I wanted?
I know, and there's a quote: "A goal without a plan is just a wish." You've heard that one. I have that engraved on one of my journals.
Nice.
Beside the point, first employee, okay?
Yeah.
So I put on Facebook, like, this is what I'm doing. And I got a few key people that changed the game for me in different areas. Like, one of my videographer friends reached out, and he's like, I want to make you a video, like a legit video, about your business. And he now he does videos with like celebrities in the World Cup and like all these, he did a video for me when I worked with Quick Trip to have a video on their gas pump at one point. Like, he's the real deal, but he gave me a free video early on.
Dang.
I'm like, that makes me look legit. Okay. Then I had other people reaching out. One friend was like, oh, you should work at my family friend's cooking studio. So then I started teaching the kids cooking classes. Okay, great. That gets me more involved in the food industry. Then a third person reached out, and she's like, this is my old roommate. And she's like, my cousin is really bored. He's like a junior or a sophomore in high school. Do you want him to work for you? I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, but
if it's a qualification. Yeah, he's bored.
Oh yeah, I'm like, okay, sure. But I did actually forget. He was the first person I ever paid. A person before that was an old coworker of mine. Again, this is the pandemic. When are we ever looking for like things to fill our time? Like at this point, everyone is so busy, but no one had anything to do. So I had a friend reach out, and he's like, I'd really be interested in the food industry. Can I work for you for free? It'd be really fun. And he had just quit working at Epic also. So he would like come tour kitchens with me or come make charcuterie boards with me, and this was not his forte. He doesn't even live in Wisconsin anymore. He moved away. He got a different job. But he was the first person that I kind of had, and I kind of was able to attempt delegation to. And then when I got this high school boy, Jack, he's amazing. He worked for or not work. He came from a family that's just really hard workers. They also own a business. His dad was the first ever employee to clock in at Culver's.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So like and plus I had that connection of my best friend at the time, cousin is who it was. So he came to my house and I said, can you just cut string? That's all I had to do was cut string.
Like
to wrap boxes.
Oh, gotcha.
I said, just cut string. And, we don't know what we're doing. We're just, very slowly cutting string. Now we can do it in like 4 seconds. But I'd spend an hour, him doing string. And then I'm like, okay, good job. Can you hole punch cards? And then he would start hole punching cards. And I'm like, do you want to come to the kitchen, like, I don't know, put crackers in boxes with me? And he did. And again, he's working for free at this point. He's volunteering. And when he came to the kitchen with me, I said, okay, yeah, put crackers. See, I'm going to put crackers in this box. Do it the same way for all 30 of these. I said, now watch. I'm going to put grapes in this box right here. Do it in all 30 of these. And I would do one box, and I'd say, do it again. We're building a puzzle. Then I'd get to the end, and I didn't have, I wasn't super, what's it called, like systemized at that point.
Okay.
So I was like, I think I want to put this here, so then just copy it. And then at the end, I'd have to come in and help. And I realized, oh my gosh, we got done early. So then I'd go on Instagram and be like, flash sale, we're selling another 2 boards. Okay, that's another $100. Like, Jack, let's make them. And then like, even if I paid him $8 an hour, he just helped me like increase my output and double my output and in half the time. And this is probably obvious for anyone that thinks about it, but like, yeah, more people equals more output.
To a point.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a curve. Yeah.
Exactly. But like, then I wasn't exhausted. Making charcuterie boards is very labor intensive.
Just tedious?
It's more labor intensive than people think. I mean, we're bringing in hundreds of pounds of items on a weekly basis.
Whoa.
I mean, even a jug of pickles right at this point is 50 pounds. But so...
Is it really?
Well, I can't really lift it properly, so I'm just going to assume.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I can't.
50, 75, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't even open the jar, though. We have to have our distributor open it for us. But back in the day, I couldn't open the pickle jars. So, like, I'm, like, banging on it like this. So, like, to have someone help with that. To cut cheese. We'd cut so much cheese, people would blister and bleed. That was before we had slicers.
What in the world?
I know, I didn't know what we were doing. It was my 14-year-old employee that's like, hey, my dad and I looked up slicers. Like, we should buy this. I'm like, oh, it's $100. I don't know. And I'm like, what?
And he's dripping blood.
I know.
Maybe just consider it.
Blistering, I know, right? And then, so anyways, you're bringing in all this produce. You have to wash, cut, process, take out all this garbage. And then you're going in. It takes, 15 to 45 minutes per board. And you're crouched over like this. So people are like, oh, it's so easy to make a charcuterie. Oh, yeah. It's when you make one, it's super easy. If you're going to make real money, you have to be like doing a lot more.
Yeah.
And I had made boards so much by myself. I remember shaking making a board because I was so fatigued.
Holy cow.
I know, right? Anyways, that was like the early days. That was with my
so
first.
You earned it.
Exactly. That's why I don't make boards as often as I used to.
Fair.
For special people, I do.
All right.
Or if we're short-staffed. But anyways, then I ended up hiring him when he turned 16 because his dad would drop him off at my house at like 5:30 in the morning, and then I would drive him to the kitchen. We pick up Duncan, and then we just cruise.
Dang. That's awesome.
I know. So anyways, my first employee.
Is he still with?
No, he moved to Texas to go to school. So once he graduated, he ended up going to Texas. And although I was devastated, he was an incredibly organized person. He helped me learn so much about like being, I guess like how to train someone, how to like manage someone, but he also gave me the same respect that I gave him, and that's hard to find, especially with young people. Like they might call in, like, I don't feel like coming in. He never called in, ever.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So he set the tone of like, I only want to attract people that are like high performers. I mean, I've hired at least 35 people in the past 5 years. So I've had some people that didn't work out, and I'm like.
Turns out.
Yeah. But now I know how to, I have, not know for sure, but I know better how to vet them.
Fair.
So yeah, that was my first employee.
All right. So that was when you were working out of your house still?
Yep. And then, very quickly that I moved to the commercial kitchen. So it was a little bit of both. I stored stuff at my house, but then we did.
So when you got in the commercial kitchen, you figured out your hours, whatever they're going to be at that time. How fast did you ramp up with employees?
Pretty slowly. Because I still did. I needed the money. Like I couldn't afford to pay anyone really.
And you got rent and you got equipment and loan and blah, blah, blah.
Well, at that point with the shared kitchen, everything was cash. I never got a loan until I built a storefront.
Oh,
so
okay.
I personally invested $10,000 in my bank account, okay, period. That's all I had and no debt. And probably some like savings a little bit. I moved $3,000 over. And that is, I never put more money in the business ever. Wow. Until I've had to do some cash infusions in the past year because of just it's expensive and sometimes it's hard to manage cash flow.
Yeah.
So though everything was until I got that loan, everything grew at the speed of cash. So when I was like, I don't know if I could buy this $100 cheese slicer, it's like, well, I probably can, but growing at the speed of cash, I also needed that $100 for my own living expenses.
Oh, gotcha.
But
okay.
Anyway, so no, I didn't have a loan. I negotiated a very low rent. I'm all about negotiation. I mean, I negotiated my house rent. I negotiated my kitchen rent. I negotiated with my employees. I would, give them fringe benefits, like free charcuterie boards.
Nice.
But you're working for $8 an hour.
All right.
Yeah. So things have changed. It was the art and science of business. Early on, I feel like it's more of an art.
Fair.
And
totally fair.
And now it's more of a science with both. But
I think once you get to a certain scaling point,
yeah,
I guess law gets involved and science and what people are willing to
yeah.
take or what they believe that you can give.
Yeah, and if people are, negotiating for different wages, it's like, well, do we even have that cash left based on profit margin? Because we also have like a lot of expenses fixed and variable. So, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So tell me, you called your employees, what did you call them? Charcuterie artists?
Yeah, charcuterie artists or proteges.
Okay, tell me a story about that.
Well, when I started hiring more employees, I would go to Instagram and just be like, I'm hiring. I would say I started getting a lot of like part-time working moms or random people that could work random times, but it was very hard to get commitments from people because I needed them in the mornings when most people are working or like weekends or holidays. All of the month of December is crazy busy. So then, that's really our busiest time of the year. It's gifting season.
All right.
November, December, parties, holiday parties, all that stuff. But yeah, we call them charcuterie artists. And I would say like we attract a lot of artistic people, a lot of creative people. Like I feel like everyone that we've attracted is looking for an outlet outside of their part-time job or their full-time job. And then the proteges we started doing because you have to be 16 to serve wine and beer and you have to be 16 to slice meat. So if you're not 16, and you can't be left alone. Okay. So a charcuterie protege is just at a different pay scale. But they're like, we have interns from CEOs of Tomorrow, which is a nonprofit in town, or we've worked with Turning Point, which is another organization in town for kids with special needs. So yeah, we could put them as charcuterie protege, and they just have a different. But yeah, there's not a huge story with the naming besides like trying to make it fun.
Okay,
and then,
fair.
And then we get a lot of graphic design people, interior design people, like art majors. I think people, they use food as their medium for art. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Do you tell me about the alcohol side? Was that tough to get a license?
So
or anything?
easy. Oh,
so easy.
So easy to get. Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, everyone always. So I have people reaching out to me and they're like, I want to do this thing. I want to start a bar. I'm really nervous about licenses. It's like, that is literally on the lowest totem pole of difficult in my case.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, to get it, so there's different classes.
Okay.
Like,
imagine you're not a bar or dance club that's until 3 a.m. or whatever.
Exactly. Like I'm not serving hard liquor, although I could have gotten that license. To not get too in the weeds, I'm considered it's like a class B and C, I think, wine and beer license.
Okay.
Which just means like we just sell wine and beer. You have to get, there's some red tape and it's time consuming. But like what's a lot harder is like getting building permits and like that type of stuff can be held up. You have to go to neighborhood meetings and pitch your case. You have to go to like other meetings and like, it's public, what are they called? They post the agenda online and anyone from the public can go and say, I don't want this here and this is why.
No charcuterie boards in my backyard.
And I mean, people do that all the time for business. If a competitor business is coming into town, sometimes the competitor will come to me and be like, this is not okay. It's way too close to me. Or they'll come up with something like, the gradient of your like road is not ADA compliant, so people can come up with anything. But wine and beer, I mean, getting a loan, like that was more difficult as a restaurant.
Than dealing with the wine and beer stuff?
Yeah, that's nothing.
Okay.
But I think early on, it felt like getting my first food, what is it called, walkthrough of the kitchen was more nerve-wracking than like anything, because you just don't really know what you don't know.
Like the health inspection?
Yeah, the health
person?
inspection.
Okay.
But when I then had my own kitchen, I can control everything. Like, we're very compliant. So
gotcha.
That's like literally was like a one-day task.
All right.
You apply. I mean, it's a thick thing you have to apply, but
yeah,
if you've been in business for a couple of years, you have it all.
Okay.
You just have to find it all and
So no
compile
big
it.
thing. Okay.
Easy peasy.
All right. Tell me, did you ever write a business plan?
I had to eventually put something, and this is before ChatGPT. Because if I had ChatGPT, it could be done in like a day, you know.
Maybe. We don't know if it'd be good or not.
No, yeah. Well,
done.
You're right. Only if you had an existing business, then I could be like, you know, ChatGPT scrub the internet and find everything about my business that, you know. But beside the point, I did have to put something together for my loan.
Okay.
And I think that was a few pages long. Like,
It wasn't some big 30-page?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you can add certain things to it. Like, I'll have to actually look probably back at it. I made it in like a few days, because at that point, wow, these are really, it's funny because I haven't heard these questions in such a long time. Like, to me, none of this was the hard part. The hardest part was like when I didn't feel like doing it, I still had to do it, but it wasn't actually hard to do.
Okay.
Or like, you know, if a customer's yelling at me over the phone because they're unhappy with something, well, I still have to fulfill other people's orders. Or if I have to deal with an employee that's upset with me or whatever. Like, those things were a lot harder. The like people aspect and the emotional aspect of it is a lot harder than the paperwork.
Fair.
But that is time consuming and can cost.
That is so interesting you say that, because for me it's the opposite. I hate paperwork, but I can deal with
Oh,
grouchy people.
yeah. Like, when I think back to what was hard, I don't know if it was, I don't know, maybe I just don't remember, because honestly it was such a blur and I didn't want to remember.
All right. Could be.
So
Get it out.
yeah, no. But I mean, there were so many components of it. Like, you have to get financial projections, for example, made. Well, there's a free clinic at the SBDC, Small Business Development Center, that can help make it for you. That took like 4 months for me to, or 3 months to get those made. And that was one piece. So all these individual things I was doing, and then I ended up just printing them all off and putting them in my application with like a business plan. Okay. So that was part of the business plan, I suppose. But I didn't do that on my own.
Right on.
And now I'm going to look back at my business plan. Because I don't even know, like, what was I thinking?
And you'll be like, what is this?
I know I'm going off the beaten path from what I had intended.
Like, but that's the game, right? That's usually what happens, because the business plan, you're essentially speculating.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah, there's something, though, that's not a business plan that is way easier. It's called the business canvas.
Yeah, the one page?
Yeah, the one page. I did that like every year.
Okay.
And I redid it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know what this meant. Like, that's why this doesn't make any sense. And then I do it the next year. And I do feel like that helped make me think about it.
All right.
And then I just use that to make the plan.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Tell me about marketing, the little section on the one page thing. How did you and how do you market your business?
Okay. Instagram.
All right.
Period.
Yeah, you mentioned that a lot.
Yeah, that's how we got all of our employees, all of our customers.
All of your employees?
Oh yeah. For me, the most important thing is like I didn't know that I was doing this, but I'm crystal clear about this part of it now, is like the culture of my business means everything. Like,
huge.
It's everything. So like when we're on Instagram, I've been taking people on Instagram on the story along with like, this is my first charcuterie board, everyone, or like, you know, this is me at the kitchen, or like a video of me taking out the trash, you know, like you bring people on the story and they just like love that authenticity.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then also there's a part of like trying to oversell it. Basically, I'd be like, we're totally sold out, guys. Thanks so much. And I'd be like, I'm just not taking any more orders.
All right.
Because I'm leaving. I'm going on vacation. So we're sold out, everyone.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of like trying to create this like, holy cow, so many people are ordering from us, reposting everyone's stuff, hyping everyone up. Anytime people message me, you get back to them instantly. I've like literally thumb tendonitis from responding to people.
What in the world?
So, I know, right? That was COVID though. Like everyone was on their phones during COVID.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, just Instagram and creative marketing things. So like I pitched working with Quick Trip to make a charcuterie board, like where I use Quick Trip ingredients.
Right.
Yeah, and so that ended up on the gas pumps, and then it also, and I actually haven't even posted it on our page, but everyone saw it on the gas pumps.
Okay.
So that adds some credibility. And for me, I'm not marketing I understand, but I'm more about like the sales and the relationships, and like if I have one person and I go so far above and beyond for them, they're going to come back. So we've had repeat customers for 5 years. every year they get us for their birthday, their anniversary, like
That's awesome.
You know, so like annual recurring revenue is so much more important than getting in a new customer. It's just how do you give those people a good experience. Marketing now, though, it's just about trying to grow our Instagram and also getting out into the wild. So for me, as someone that's like in this generation of online, we forget about all these in-person brand activations that we can do. Like, so the other day I wore a cheese head and I went around the Capitol and I interviewed people and basically said, like, do you have a cheese drawer in your fridge? Or how would you describe your ex in cheese and charcuterie terms? And people were like, how do you describe cheese on the bottom of your shoe that's been dropped on the floor? We're like,
oh, that's awesome.
Or like moldy cracker, or like the toothpick or something.
Wow.
So, and then posting, we do that in the wild. We're also giving out free samples, and then we post it on Instagram.
You were just bumming around the Capitol, the cheese head hat, with the microphone and the camera.
During Concert on the Square, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was, I mean, that takes a whole thing, like a whole initiative, because I had my two social media, my one marketing girl, social media girl, you know, it's a lot of, but it's fun.
Yeah.
So anyways, like that's us trying to get into the wild. Like we have a cheese and charcuterie costume that like, you know, I'm trying to get someone that wants to run like a marathon, the Madison Marathon wearing the costume or something, like just to do something like guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
We don't pay for ads really. I spent in the past 5 years under $10,000 on any advertisements.
Nice.
Paid ads we don't really do. I feel like putting your face on Instagram. In my perspective, people trust you and they're like, wow, look how busy you are, look how friendly you are, look how hype you are, like, look how good your products look.
Right.
But then also getting reviews on Google, or Facebook, or Yelp, always asking for feedback and then reposting that.
Yeah.
So.
Have reviews been a challenge? Either getting or dealing with negative ones if you get them, or?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean.
I didn't mean to pick that scab, but here we are.
No, I really actually. It's funny. I remember getting I've gotten 2 bad reviews.
Okay. 2.
One was recent actually, which was kind of wild.
Okay. Well, screw them.
Yeah.
They're wrong.
I know. To me, I say I give them their money back, and it never have. I wash my hands of it. But it used to hurt a lot more. When people they'd constantly penny pick, they'd be like, can you sharpen your pencil? Can you lower your prices? And now with the storefront, people don't really do that. But I do find it a challenge. I mean, we've had thousands. We've had over 100,000 people eating our stuff. Like, and we have only 300 or 230 reviews. It's like, hello, I've got more family members than that. Yeah. Where are you guys? Why aren't you writing reviews?
I feel that way for us with, I guess with the book, just trying to get reviews from people. The number of books that I've given away saying, read it, leave a review.
You're an author.
Yeah.
I don't have your book. Do you have it here, or where do I get it?
I'll get you a copy. Yeah.
Okay, I love reading people's stories.
Yeah, I'll totally get your book. Yeah.
Yeah, reviews are. I mean, you have to ask for them then, though.
Oh my gosh, you got to ask like 50 times. Then they're
you have to send them a gift card about it too.
10 seconds out of my day to leave a review. Only if you piss me off.
No, I'm telling you, like people don't realize that if you want to see someone succeed, you don't have to give them money. You can give them a review, tell a friend, repost something. Like you don't just have to give them money.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting the value of that people will trust random strangers or bots more than their neighbor that they're talking to in person, right?
I know.
So it's kind of bizarre that that's where we are, but
yeah,
that's I don't know, that's where we are, so it's a big deal.
I know, it is a big deal. But I mean, apart from that, we have a whole marketing initiative thing, but newsletters and radio ads we've done like trades for radio ads. But yeah, I would say for me, like I'm not super involved in all the marketing efforts. You know, but I like sales a little bit more.
All right, fair.
But to be honest, that's so time consuming. I just like growing the business.
That's the game, right? Build. You mentioned expanding. So what's going on there?
All right, so this is the story.
All right. This is the build up.
Yeah, I know, right? So I've been doing this for 5.5 years now. And I had always been building the business like a franchise. That's how I wanted to grow it. We're at the level where like we could franchise, like we do the same amount of sales as competitors in our space. I mean, even a Subway, we do just as many sales, if not more, than some Subways.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, there's like a bazillion.
Prove the model.
Yeah, I think so. But also at the same time, it is risky. Having a storefront is very, very expensive. I even saw a down dip, earlier in quarter one with just like the stock market
things,
stuff. We didn't get sales for days, and that's scary.
Days,
when you have, I mean, we probably got like a couple $dollars worth of sales coming.
No, but I get you when it's like,
it's very scary. And so when you have so many fixed expenses, my thought was, you know what, this could work. It absolutely can work, but do I see this for myself? And after some soul searching and some conversations with Clarice, which is the name of my ChatGPT. Clarice.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know, Clarice. Hi, Clarice.
I always think of Silence of the Lambs.
No. Oh, people call me that all the time because Therese and Clarice, they're like, hello, Clarice. So anyways, I'm like, this is like the two paths I'm thinking about taking, or I didn't tell you the second path yet. But anyways, I don't foresee myself going down the franchise path.
Okay.
I think it's going to be, it could be successful, but I'm pausing.
Yeah.
What I'd like to get into is inspired by my own family. I have 2 siblings, and they're both entrepreneurs. Our parents were not entrepreneurs, mind you, but they're entrepreneurs. One of them is in the e-commerce game, and I have seen what they've been able to do in 4 years. Their market is nationwide. Their footprint is a warehouse, and they have exploded. You know, we have a really big customer base regionally, but like, I think we could do more with less expenses. So e-commerce is the way that I'm planning on going, and it's shippable, ready-to-eat charcuterie boards.
I was going to ask you about shipment.
Oh, really? Yeah. People have been asking us to ship, and for 5 years, and I have always said, that sounds horrible. I don't want to deal with that. But then what I realized, and what I believe, is like you have one warehouse, you have a slicer robot that cuts your meat, like, you know, you're just shipping out, and that means like my price point is very profitable for me here, but someone buying it in California, it would be like a good deal for them. Yeah. You know, but it's still profitable for me. I also recognize that our biggest clientele is corporate gifting, thank you gifts, client appreciation gifts, welcome boxes for employees. Like, that is us. And as opposed to using like Harry and David or like 1-800-Flowers, they can support a local company and shippable boards that only uses Wisconsin cheeses, and we're from Wisconsin. It just feels like a good way. It's huge. Very serendipitous with like my feel on community and supporting local and like the local economy here. While also like everyone knows the best cheese comes from Wisconsin. 50% of the cheese comes from Wisconsin. That's in this country.
Amen, sister.
Yeah, I know, right? You were dismissed. No, I know.
Preach.
Yeah. So anyways, that's what I'm working on. It's a lot more complicated than I thought, but like this is my 4th.
Yeah, no joke. I'll tell you a really quick story.
Oh yeah.
Charcuterie board. I had a friend that I helped her out a little bit with her business stuff. She sent me a charcuterie board. I didn't know this.
It wasn't for me though, right?
No, shipped.
Oh,
Shipped. So FedEx calls me up.
We're talking offline after that. I know what she sent you.
All right. Well, like I didn't know she was sending it. No, I did get it, but I didn't know she was sending it.
Yeah.
So FedEx calls me up. I'm on the road, and they're like, "We got a package for you," and I'm racking my brain, like, "What did I order?" Right. Anyways, so I swing by and pick it up, and it's this box, and it doesn't say who it's from. Right. It's just someplace in California, and I get home, I open it up, and it's a charcuterie board.
Do you remember the name?
I took pictures. I can probably look it up. Yeah, I'll look it up.
I know it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not even.
But I mean, like, I'm like, this is food that traveled the country fast.
Overnight, FedEx overnight.
Yeah, and it's got the freezer thing and all that kind of stuff.
Keeps it cold for 48 hours.
Yeah, that was. It was just one of those things where I was like, oh, somebody put some thought into this.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Did you keep that wooden board that it came in?
I believe we did.
Yeah. Okay.
You do know your game. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I know it because I've. Well, I don't ever want my competitors to listen to this, so I'm not going to even say it. But I'm very familiar with all the brands that ship charcuterie boards.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, you have to be, though. You have to be.
You got to know your competitors. I get it. I get it.
And the thing is, when I started my business, which I know we're kind of at time. Sorry. Yeah. But like, I wasn't the first one to do charcuterie boards. I'm like probably the 1,000th one.
Sure.
I mean, in the nation. And I got all of my ideas, but now I've made it my own. I don't look at my competitors anymore because I know we got something else going on. But with expanding, I think, what's out there? How can it be a little bit better?
Yeah, you got to think like your customer. So what are they looking? What are they looking at? What do they see? So I guess what is your competition as far as what are their choices?
There's only one.
Okay.
And there might be another one, but it's not well known. There's one, and they're pretty big. I'm talking.
I thought you meant only you.
Oh, right? No, it will be.
There's only one.
Coming this October, we'll be shipping.
Well, that's not that long from now.
I know, I got a packaging engineer on it. I got smart this time. I'm like, I don't need to figure this all out. I'm just going to try to...
people with the brains that have the experience to...
That's my hope.
So you can skip the whole mistake part.
I know, that's what I want.
Or minimize them, right?
Just, it costs a little bit, but I think it will be worth it the sooner we get it out.
Higher quality problems. Mm-hmm. I get it. I get it.
Yep.
Therese, where can people find you?
Everyone can find me at Tricky Foods on Instagram. You can also listen to a podcast that I host, which is called Screw It, Let's Do This.
I love that name.
Yeah, so find that all over the
I feel so
platforms.
inadequate with this name.
No, stop. We get so much pushback for that name. This is very authentic.
What? Screw It, Let's Do This is an amazing name.
Some people think it's a little provocative.
Yeah, they're wrong.
Yeah, I'm like.
I mean, maybe that's the goal. I don't know.
Oh, we're very clean cut, but great stories. And other than that, just follow along on Instagram.
All right. What's the Instagram handle?
At Tricky Foods.
Gotcha. Is there a space or a
no
dash?
No space, no dash. At Tricky Foods, trickyfoods.com if you want to submit an inquiry or get in contact with me directly. That's everything.
Cool. I love it. This has been Authentic Business Adventures, the business program that brings you the struggles, the stories, and triumphs and successes of business owners across the land. Oh, where are we at here? We're locally underwritten by the Bank of Sun Prairie. If you're watching, viewing, listening to this on the web, if you don't mind, give us a big old thumbs up, subscribe, and of course, share it with your entrepreneurial friends and those friends that need a charcuterie board, which I'm going to say is everyone, vegetarian or not, right? There's probably options. I don't know.
Yeah, there's options.
We can go down that road next time.
Yeah.
We're locally underwritten by the Bank of Sun Prairie. I think I already said that, but I'll say it again. We'd like to thank you, our wonderful listeners, as well as our guest, Therese Merkel of Tricky Foods. Website?
trickyfoods.com.
Awesome. I love it when they're easy.
Yeah.
Past episodes can be found morning, noon, and night at the podcast link found at drawincustomers.com. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week. I want you to stay awesome. And if you do nothing else, enjoy your business. And Authentic Business Adventures is brought to you by Calls on Call, offering call answering and receptionist services for service businesses across the country on the web at callsoncall.com. And of course, the Bold Business Book, a book for the entrepreneur and all of us, available wherever fine books are sold.